Welcome to Home and Rehab's annual OSHA safety course. So I'm going to go through a bunch of information today that I want you to just keep in the back of your mind at all times, because employee safety is definitely our #1 priority here. And so I want to do everything we can to assure that you're always safe while in the workplace. So OSHA stands for the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and it was signed into Act on December 29th, 1970, and it's basically just to ensure workplace safety and health protection. So basically what the employer's responsibility is, as far as OSHA is concerned, is meeting the general duty of providing a workplace free from recognized hazards. Comply with all OSHA regulations, report OSHA within 8 hours of any accident results in a fatality or hospitalization of 3 or more employees, maintain a sharps injury log for all percutaneous injuries from contaminated sharps, which really doesn't apply very often in this facility. Occasionally we will use syringes for iontophoresis, but other than that, we aren't at much risk of that. Displaying the OSHA poster in the break rooms, which advises all of you employees of your legal rights and responsibilities, and then do not discriminate against employees who properly exercise their rights under OSHA, and making sure any citations from OSHA are posted in the workplace, and that any violations are reported to the employer right away. So the employers have the right to seek free advice and off-site assistance from OSHA, request and receive proper identification from OSHA compliance officer requesting access to the facility, be advised by the compliance officer of the reason for the inspection, request a search warrant for OSHA to enter the premises, have a conference with the compliance officer to discuss rights and his or her findings, accompany the compliance officer on the inspection, be assured of protection of any trade secrets, and then basically submit any comments to OSHA on any rulemaking. So basically, to make a long story short, the compliance officer at this point is myself. So if you have any concerns or issues with your safety or your peers' safety in the workplace, that it needs to be brought up to me immediately so that we can take corrective action. Okay. So once a year, we're required to spend about an hour on going over any OSHA training as it applies. And in the past we've done videos, but a lot of the times those videos don't apply to this specific workplace, and it applies more to more of an acute hospital type situation. So I wanted to try to make this as realistic as possible, as what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis. So the main things we want to go over are general safety hazards, fire and emergencies, bloodborne pathogens, hazardous chemicals, TB and other respiratory diseases, and ergonomic injuries. So as far as general safety hazards, so things that you guys need to bring up to me if you notice something as an issue, would be faulty electrical outlets. If you're plugging in a machine to an outlet and you notice it's loose or the connection is not staying maintained, that's something that needs to be brought up to me. If you're having to use a ladder to get to cabinets overhead and the ladder is not, sturdy or where it should be as far as safe, that's something that needs to be brought up to me as well. Anything in the workplace that you just find could be a safety hazard for yourself or your peers needs to be addressed. Fire and emergencies. So as far as fire drills go, we're going to have a fire drill today just to kind of mimic what the case scenario would be. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the process, and then I'll give you a few minutes to run through the process yourself. So the receptionists are at the front desk, normal business as usual. Let's say each clinician is with a patient. So if a fire does occur, that we have two main exit doors. So one obviously is the main front door, and then the second one is in the front treatment room with the bifold door. So if the fire is somewhere near one of those doors, then the obvious thing would be to make sure that everyone exits at the other door. So the first line of defense is, you know, someone suspects a fire, smells smoke, anything like that, the first direction would be for that person to either do it themselves or instruct someone else to call 911 and call the fire department and let them know what's going on. And then all of the clinicians are required to take their patients along with their paper chart with them out of the office and make sure that they go out the correct door depending on where the incident is occurring. The receptionists are required to make sure that everybody is out of the waiting room and the restrooms. So just do a quick sweep of, you know, the areas to make sure that nobody is left inside in the restroom, especially that's in the back corner, so that's super important. And then back office staff, you know, billing and all of that, activation specialists, those people that are in the back office, just make sure you get yourself out and also help with the receptionists. The lead receptionist is required to be the one that makes the full sweep of the office. If that person is not there that day, whoever then is sitting at the middle computer or in a COE office, the clinical assistant would be the one responsible for running into the back and checking the bathroom, break areas, all of that to make sure everyone is out. So for the Claremont office, as far as a meeting place outside, so I would like everyone to get their patients and everyone in the office and meet over by the monument sign that is at the entrance of the driveway. And that's where I want everyone to meet. Now, if there's a hazard or anything that's going on that side of the building, then we're going to meet on the other side of the driveway. So if you're exiting the building, you're going to go to the right. Unless there's an issue at the right side of the driveway, you're going to go over to the left side of the driveway, and that's where everyone will meet and wait for the fire department to get there. Now, in the COE office, after you do your sweep, what I would like the meeting place to be there would be to take everybody out and meet over, you know, in the back of the McDonald's. That would be the best place to meet everybody and make sure everyone is accounted for. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes. What I want you guys to do is everyone just kind of scatter yourselves throughout the gym and let's go ahead and do a practice fire drill. So let's designate one person to be the person that sees what's going on and alerts everybody else. So go ahead and take a few minutes and let's do the drill.